Welcome everybody, it's Telm, and in this video I'm going to be answering a question that I've been asked so many times now, and of course it's talking about how everyone is constantly asking every YouTuber how they got 300 health and 1 billion points by round 1, and this is something that I thought more people would be aware of, but apparently that's not the case, and I can understand why, because it's not too obvious when you get to the game. But anyways, with that said, let's actually explain what's going on here. So what exactly is happening, how all these YouTubers and just people are getting 300 health and all these points, is by using something called custom mutations, and this lets you change pretty much everything about the game. And a lot of people are kind of confused how to get there. I can understand because it's not too obvious, but as you guys can see right here, we're at the zombies menu screen, so this is just your standard one. But there's also this little thing right here, it kind of looks like a settings thing, and that's pretty much what it is. It just lets you change everything, and of course this is where custom mutations actually is, and right here you could change a ton. I mean, pretty much everything's unlocked for you. You have all the perks, you have pretty much all the guns in the armory unlocked and all that stuff, but besides that you have also bots. I just realized about that, I just remembered that was a thing also. But the main thing that everyone's been wondering is this edit game rules, and this lets you change almost anything about the game. I mean, you could go through these settings and change it to however you want, make zombies work however you want. I mean, you could change the starting round up to round 50, and then you could also just change, actually let's do that. I'll start the game at round 50. No, I'll get that. Let's go 37. Let's see. No, I don't like 37. 34. Anyways, you have a round cap that the round ends after a certain amount of round. You have a time cap that the game ends at a certain amount of time. Then you have the timer that just lets you know if you want a timer or not. And then you have the kill cap. And all these things that pretty much end the round, or just it turns off the traps if you don't want traps on or something like that. You can turn off special rounds altogether. Just turn off starting weapons or default only. Wait, what? I'm not too sure how that one works actually, but you could just do a ton of different things, and that's just under the general settings. I mean, after that you have just the system settings, like you have right here power. You can turn on, you can have power always on for you never have to turn it off. You can have the power doors always open, or you could have them always locked. You can have it either way you want. Also, there's a barricade, and you can have doors always open. I mean, you never have to buy any doors right here. You can have them always closed, which is, I mean, just a first room challenge. And then you have all the other things. You have the mystery box. You put the mystery box always on. You could have a number of uses before the mystery box moves. You could have a number of uses permanently, and after spending it so many times, you could just have it disappear. Then after that, you could change perks. You could change pack-a-punch. You could have it always on. You could have pack-a-punch or repack-punch on, and just power-ups. You can change how power-ups work. I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but you could change a lot of different things here. I mean, wall buys, you can turn them on or off. You can change elixirs, how they work. You can change how talismans work. You just change a ton, and of course that's again just under systems. Over here at weapons, you could turn if these guns or these gun types are actually in the game. You could turn off all the gun types except for the wonder weapon. You'll pretty much guarantee get the wonder weapon from the box every single time if you're playing a map where the wonder weapon is in. And also, of course, you have your special weapons on and off. You can turn the wonder weapon on or off. You can change your equipment. You can change your shield, and just a lot of different things. And then, of course, you have your enemies. You can change how enemies work. You put headshots always on or off. You can put crawlers on or off, or only crawlers. I actually want to see that. And then you can change the zombie speed, or spread, excuse me. And you probably want to have that tight if you're going for high rounds. But then there's I'll come back to that in a little bit, actually. You can put the minimum speed at walk, and then you can have their maximum speed at walk too, and they'll never be running. And this is something that's actually really important to me and a lot of other YouTubers. But pretty much, there's a lot of things you can change here. And I mean, there's just a ton, but let me actually get to the number one question that everyone asks. Is the health thing, and all you have to do is go to player, and you have to go to health, and you can change your starting health to the default, which is 3, or you can +1, +2, or +3, and that'll give you 300 health. And not only that, it's not all you could do. You could also just, turn your regen delay to short. You could change the regen speed to instant. I mean, you guys will see that if you watched any of my gameplay, but you have gives health, and these are just other things that have existed, I guess. But also, and then here's another big one that I'm always asked, is that you could give yourself starting off with 50,000 points. I mean, that's a lot of points. I mean, there's a lot of things. Also, you can change point loss when down, point loss when dying, and then of course point loss when hit. Just a lot of different things. Last stand, you can change a lot of different things here. But anyways, that's pretty much everything. I mean, there's so much you could change. You could change it to a ton of different things. Let's actually not put that. Let's put it over here. But I mean, this is pretty much what custom mutations is. I'm just going to start a game to show you guys how this custom mutations actually, you know what? Actually, I don't want to start on round 23. Come think of it. Let's just go round 1 just for example, because I don't exactly want to be trying to run for my life while I'm explaining a couple things, because there's different things I want to explain. So this is going to take a while, so a little cut right here. And there we go. You guys can see right there, I got 50,000 points and I just spawned in, and of course also with 300 health. And that's pretty much how it works. And as you guys see, I turned off everything. Oh, I guess I didn't turn. Oh, that's a pistol, no wonder. But I turned off everything except pistols and wonder weapons pretty much. So you guys see, I have a ton of health, I got a ton of points, and I just spawned in. Now, of course, well, I actually want to show you this other thing. So pretty much my first couple spins is going to pretty much be guaranteed the Blundergat. Oh, there we go. First spin right there, because I turned off all the other guns. So, I mean, the options it could give me are pretty low. But I want to mention a couple things right here. Take this moment right here to give you guys a pretty important piece of information about custom mutations, because you're probably thinking right now, hey, that's overpowered and it's just ridiculous, right? But there's a lot of reasons why this is actually pretty good for the game. Now, one, this last zombie dies off, and the only way to keep the last zombie from dying off, especially for us YouTubers who want to just have some gameplay of not the zombie dying off and holding a zombie, because if you just put the zombies to always walking, they won't die off. But of course, if you're playing anything standard, they will pretty much always die off, and that's a huge problem, especially if you're making tutorials and things like that. But of course, another thing I want to mention that is huge, just it's so important, and this is the reason why I really want to bring this up, is that when you are using custom mutations, nothing will save. Hey, look, I made them all crawlers. But also, you have to remember, nothing will save. You will not get trophies, that's including Easter eggs. You can't even do Easter eggs currently. Now, I imagine you'll be able to do Easter eggs once the Easter eggs are solved and they make them available for custom mutations, but you cannot help solve the Easter eggs beforehand. You cannot find Easter egg steps while you are playing custom mutations. You can't do any of that currently. But of course, even if you do things that give you like a challenge, even if you didn't change any settings, it still won't give you the trophy or anything like that. It's just how custom mutations work. I mean, there's just so much about it that I think is just so fair for how it works. Look at all these crawlers that are just all crawlers. But anyways, I just want to make sure you guys all understood that. Like, that is pretty much how custom mutations work and how people are getting so much health. And again, you can't do much with them, and I didn't kill a single one. How about that? But it's just something you have to keep in mind while you're using custom mutations. You're not going to get XP, you're not going to get trophies, you can't do Easter eggs, but of course it's still something you can do for fun. I mean, you can just play this game for fun while you're doing it. And the number one thing I would recommend you guys do is just give yourself a ton of points and make the zombies walkers and just stuff like that, and just explore the maps. Just make sure you understand how maps work. That's what I did with these. I just wanted to learn the maps as soon as possible, and that's exactly what I did. I put custom mutations on and I just ran around the maps. Then I just learned how the maps were laid out. Of course, this one I kind of knew how it worked because obviously I played Mob of the Dead. But regardless, it's just all the other maps, if you're, especially the Titanic maps, the Voyage of Despair, I highly recommend. Just give yourself a ton of points and just explore the map, because that's just like the number one thing. Remember two things if you're going to be exploring a map. Points all the way, and make sure the zombies are walkers or they will despawn and they'll just die. So just keep that all in mind. But anyways, that is about it for this video. Tell me what you guys are thinking about custom mutations. You think they're good for the game, bad for the game, or you don't really care? Just tell me any of that stuff down in the comments. But that's about it for me. If you guys did enjoy the video, go ahead, do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and especially bell. But I'm going to go, and I'll catch you guys in the next stream or video.